Welcome, my dear friends, and to our next episode of our Dream to Rise. This is Cynthia Concordia, your host, and I have with me a special guest who is now a mindfulness coach whose objective is to serve people seeking inner peace and clarity to cultivate mindfulness and emotional resilience. Why? So that they can embrace life's challenges with grace and help them discover true joy within themselves. She is from Mexico, born in
Mhm.
a family with strong-willed and positive people. She thought that she was living a happy life during her marriage with her ex-husband after she graduated from college. She has been blessed to have two twin boys after several years of trying to conceive. And she has gone through so many challenges after her divorce, living alone in a foreign country, working, and at the same time taking care of her boys. How was she able to overcome those challenges? Let us listen and welcome our guest, Miss Sai Gonzalez. Welcome, Sai.
Thank you very much, Cynthia.
Hi, you're welcome. How
Well,
are you now?
I am having an awesome day.
Uh,
This is, long time coming, and I am just so happy to be able to help and reach to so much many people. Um,
Same.
you know, One of my goals for this year that I wish I can accomplish is to help at least 5,000 people in this year.
Wow. Does that mean helping them through one-on-one coaching or
Yes,
sharing
yes.
your story? Oh, one-on-one
Well,
coaching.
I hope that I could reach millions of people, trying to share little tips every day or just, giving a good message that they might need to hear that day. Sometimes as we're going through social media, we sometimes get, something just pops up in our feed, and that is exactly what we needed for that moment. And
Mm.
that little auspicious coincidence, maybe something, a higher power, maybe it's just mere coincidence, but I would like to think that the universe is trying to tell you something. So we just need to stay open to the messages that can come to us in many different ways.
Yes.
um you know
And and I believe that we are called by our creator, by our God, to
mhm,
serve a purpose here on earth. And he called you on a separate matter. He called me on a separate matter. But
mhm,
then both of us are leading towards that direction, and that
right,
is fulfilling our purpose in life, and that is sharing the message of God to other people, right? And helping
right,
others live the life they love.
that's right.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes we get so caught up in being ourselves, just staying within ourselves, but we are like a part of a community. We're human beings are not to be alone.
Yes.
They need that sense of someone else, that sense of belonging. So when you're not in connection to that feeling, in whichever way that you feel it's accomplished in your life, if you have that, you have the ability to go above and beyond and go so much more and have a more fulfilled life than when you are just by yourself, you
Exactly.
know?
And it's also important that we are surrounded by people who are aligned to our values, who are
That's right.
aligned to our dreams, because there are people who would just drag you down. Hey, you cannot do that. Hey, you're too old for that. It's instead of pushing us to move forward and discover our potential, we just stay within our comfort zone, right? Because
Right.
here, what other people would say.
Exactly. And so mindfulness and the principles that I'm trying to convey and teach and coach others is to live in that present moment,
Mhm.
so that you can build on to many different aspects of your life, pretty much, like from the moment that you wake up in the morning, be grateful. You're awake. You have all
Mhm.
these possibilities in this day to create, to help, to move forward, to be in touch, to do so much. It's a new day. It's a brand new opportunity to do so much within
Yes.
your life, within your circle, within your community, for so many more days to come. But if we just take today and we start with being grateful and admiring all the good things that we woke up to, just by the mere fact that I'm here, then you can either, live mindfully means living in the moment. So what else can we do with this moment? Well, maybe I do something for myself, like I wake up early in the morning. I wake up around 5 in the morning, and that 1 hour that I have between the moment I wake up and the moment that my kids wake up, it's a little piece of tranquility for myself. I exercise, I do my mindfulness journal, I create something, before I start getting going with my day. I am already in peace. I do a little bit of meditation. I am at a stop at a place where I can just keep doing the same for my children. So they wake up, is the rush, the cat, the school, and things like that, and then it's getting to work. But
Mhm.
that hour that I am able to schedule for myself, that little of self-care, of me being okay, to be able to give that to my kids as well. So
Mhm.
that is just a little tip for anyone that is trying to have some peace and tranquility in their day. Start your day with a purpose. Part of my philosophy is live on purpose.
Yeah.
Don't let life happen to you. Be intentional and enjoy every single moment, even the rush of the morning. Even when the milk is spilled and the cat is running everywhere, that little moment right there, he's not going to come again, not even in a single day. He
Yes.
might not, the cat might stop running. So, because our world is ever changing, we need to be able to capture that moment and have it with me forever, because no one can take that moment away from me. And
Yes.
as long as I am conscious and today here with them at that moment, I am not going to lose it.
Yeah.
And whenever they are older and grown up and out of the house, I will have that moment with me forever. That
It,
is what I'm taking with me forever.
and
And that no one will be able to take that away from me or from anyone that tries to capture those moments. Be intentional and be in the moment.
I like what you mentioned about live living at the moment, and then
Mhm,
cherish that moment to whoever you are interacting with, the
mhm,
friends, the family, the children, your parents, and so on. Because as what you've mentioned, time
mhm.
is a free resource
Exactly.
that we're in, we cannot go back. So
Mhm,
make use of the time left and create memories
mhm.
with the time given to us. But you
Yes.
know what? I love that energy. I love your energy because we
Thank
started
you.
with what you're doing right now, right? And
Yes.
I'm sure you have gone through so much also before you have reached this point. So I would just like to ask you if it's okay if you
Mhm,
could share your story. What have you gone through before
mhm.
before discovering what your gift right now, your purpose? Probably
Okay.
you could take us to that journey.
Okay. Okay. So I was at a point in my life. So, you know, I didn't, my parents, let me just backtrack a little. My parents were, they both passed as of now, but they were always positive people.
Mhm.
They were a little bit like a team, like a tag team. My mom does this, my dad does that. And so I have an older brother and an older sister. I'm the youngest.
Mhm.
And for whatever reason, I was the lucky one to have all the health issues when I was little. So
Mhm.
I was very close to my mom and my dad because of that. So when you're growing up, and you overcome that health issue, and you're now, thriving, you are going to college and you graduate. And then all of a sudden, I find this guy that I fell in love with. I
Mhm.
marry and I come to this country. And, the first few years, it was wonderful. We had great travel and friends and just enjoying life, right? We come to a point to where I we both, or at least I thought, we both decided to have children. We tried for many years, and that just wasn't happening. One doctor said maybe because of my body always trying to fight the allergies, it's resistant to getting pregnant. Okay, so we sought doctor's help, and I was able to conceive two boys,
Mhm.
twins,
Twins.
um,
Imagine at the same
twin
time
boys.
already.
Yes,
See how blessings, how Lord works in mysterious ways, no?
exactly. So I was in heaven, pretty much on earth, because I had this guy that I thought was in love with me, that we were having an awesome life. Now we're having these two boys that was like, completing the package, the cherry on top. And all of a sudden, come a year after the boys are born, that all went away.
Just after a
He,
year they were born?
yes, a year and a half, they were born. And then within that year, things started happening. He got involved in substance abuse, and I discovered all this that he was trying to hide from me, and I decided to divorce for the sake of the kids mostly, and other activities that he was getting involved with. So I decided to say, no, you're not going to hurt me or my children anymore, and we need to stop. So he moved out, and I was, in a foreign country with really no family here around, and two babies to care for
Yes.
and a full-time job. So
Yeah.
it was very overwhelming. I, again, luckily have a great family that doesn't live in this country, but through technology and video calls and things like that, I was able to get that support to come out of that.
Now, may I
Um,
ask you, because, excuse me,
mhm.
because you made a decision. What made you uh make that decision? Because most of the time we always make a decision when we fall flat on the ground. But that's the time we're in, oh, it's a wake-up call. Now, I don't know, was it because of physical abuse? Was it because of him always out of the house and him treating you badly, or what?
There was the ignoring, the when you're a parent, especially of two little ones, you rely on that other person to be there to like tag team and handle both babies, because it is very hard to have two brand newborns that need to be fed, clean, changed, and all these things pretty much at the same time. And when 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 they were born, my mom was here with me, and she helped us tremendously. She kind of, taught us the ropes on how to be able to manage the two babies. But when she had to go back to Mexico, things started happening, and there was that moment of realization to where I am a single mom, married.
Mhm.
So even before I was a single mom, I was a married single mom, because
So he was not really helping in the household chores. He was not, he was
I,
just
I would
lazy.
I would wake up at 4 in the morning to make their food and have it all ready to go for him to take care of the babies, because at that point, that was where we were at. I had a full-time job. He was taking care of the babies. And when I realized that that wasn't happening to the level that they needed, it was time to change. I couldn't, I couldn't allow my babies to not be well taken care of. So
Why?
my
What
wake
did
up
you
call.
see? What signs did you see that he was not taking care of the babies? Oh,
So one day I came back home. Well, I was trying to be very specific. He had to text me and make sure that I knew when they were fed, when they were sleeping, everything. So he had called me and said that there was a problem or something, and that he couldn't handle it anymore, and I had to leave work, and that took me half an hour more than I wanted. And when I came home, the babies were crying. They were both not changed. They hadn't been fed. I mean, there was so much that I found that it was time to do something, because this couldn't go on anymore.
and
So
was
my
that the
babies,
time? Was that the time that you said we have to separate?
no, actually that was the time I said, you either take care of this, or there is no more. So he got better
Uh,
um, for about another month, and then I discovered he was bringing in other people to
oh,
my house. So
why?
that was that was when I said, no, this is not acceptable. You're not gonna do this. My kids are not gonna be it. You know, when you have a good base on your persona, on your soul, you cannot allow anyone to disrespect that, especially in your own home.
Yeah,
So when you allow others to treat you in a disrespectful way, you have to stand up for yourself. There will be nobody that will do it for you.
I agree.
So when there is situations in your face that are not right and right out disrespectful to you, you need to take action. There is no other way. And so
Was he bringing people and engaging in drugs at home?
um, I can't say for 100% because I wasn't there, but there was other people coming into my home,
Oh,
and that was just not acceptable.
yes. I
So I am a very lucky person. My mom and my dad always instilled in me strength to stand up for myself, to not allow certain behaviors from people. So that's when I turned to what I knew. My mom was always um, very into, in a way, she was into mindfulness, really, because even though it wasn't called that back then, she was the one that taught me all these things, that instilled in me all this strength. So when you find yourself that you're away from home, sometimes things shake. They are not as strong as they should have been. Had I been in Mexico and this had happened, I'm sure it would have not been even an issue. It would have never happened the way that it did here, because I was by myself. I didn't have friends that I could just go to. I was just, learning to be on my own at that point. So luckily, I did have a couple friends that were able to help me overcome some of these obstacles in regards to who's going to take care of my kids while I'm at work, or how can I do this? What needs to happen? So those things is when people around you, that community, that non-isolation needs to happen for you to be able to succeed in your journey.
I agree with you. You need the people who would be there to support you. Support system is very important,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you're all by yourself in a foreign country. And I
That
was
is true.
also in that situation. But I'm so happy that I have my support system here, a lot of friends who were here to
Mm-hmm.
support each other. But I agree with you, support system is very important. So
Yes.
so now after going through that that obstacle, that those struggles, and you have taken care of your children with the help of other people, how how did you came up with this business, the mindfulness,
Mhm.
and now you're helping other people?
Well, back then, when I first started trying to learn to be a single mom while being all positive, I started positively inspired as my way to keep myself positive and reach out to others that might have also feel like me at that point, to where you just need that extra little positive, yay, you can do it, you're
Yes.
enough, you did it today, you survived, you're
Yes.
doing awesome, you know, all that positivity that we all need on an everyday basis, basically, because listening to another person tell you you're doing great, you can do this, it's awesome.
Yes.
So me trying to convey that at the same time that I'm reminding myself to do that. Fast forward a few years, I have my children settled, positively inspired, is thriving. A lot of people want this positivity keep going. And originally back in Mexico, I was a psychologist. I was
Mhm.
helping, I was mostly focused on teenagers and children. But if I can go back to my original mission, like I said, sometimes in life you take some turns that make you get lost in
Yes.
life, that you're not where you're supposed to be.
Yes.
So I I am in a point to where let's just reevaluate, what do I really want for my life, and start searching through doing an internal search of what is my purpose.
Yes.
Going back to my meditation, my roots basically, and go, I really enjoy this. Why would I not give this joy to others as well? Um, at that point, uh, right after this happened right after my father passed away after battling cancer. Um, the time that I spent with him, um, he was very focused on the today, because when you're living with a stage 4 cancer, it's like every day is a gift, really, because you don't know how long or how much longer is this treatment going to work. And when they tell you that the treatments are no longer working and you start preparing for the next step, you really appreciate every moment that you have with that person.
Yes.
So when he passed and I started all this introspection, I look back and say, what did I really enjoy in my life? And then again, every day I am working with positively inspired. And I go, it's right in front of me. This is my calling. This is what I've been doing for the last 10 years or so. I want to help people. Well, let's just do this. And I started being more active in positively inspired, started creating coachings, started doing my daily videos and everything else to reach out to people. And the response has been awesome. I, you can't imagine how my day goes. And so many people just making my day, saying, I needed to hear this today. Thank you. Or this is awesome. You need to do this. Or I am sending this one to my friend or my family or my mom. They need to hear this too. So it's so I just tell them, you just make my day, because
And
that is so warm how do you say, warm hearted,
warm
um
heart.
warm, it just
Actually,
warms my heart to hear that
exactly.
I was able to help someone.
Yes, and that's the thing. That's the reason why we are here. We feel so much joy and fulfilled
Mhm.
when we are able to impact other people.
That is totally true.
Yes.
Yes.
And it's not just merely coaching or getting a client. It's not
No,
that. For me, it's not
no.
that. But just like what you were sharing,
Mhm.
just sharing a message or posting a positive message, doing a live video with a positive message, and touches the heart of other people, sharing your post to other people is
Mhm.
already a very impactful way of or effective way of impacting people.
Yes.
And I believe in you because in social media, once, well, in the algorithms in social media, Facebook, like for
Mhm.
example, if you post something and someone responds or someone reacts, again, this reaches out to his or her connections, and then it
Mhm.
multiplies. And then
Mhm.
they all also share
That's right.
the message which you have posted. And I
Mhm.
agree that you will be able not only reach 5,000 people, it's more than 5,000 if you
Mhm.
continue to be consistent in terms of posting. And that's what I've learned also from my coach. Be
Mhm.
consistent
Yeah,
and share the message that you want to share. And that's promoting positivity.
that's correct.
And that's what we need right now here on earth because the world is so chaotic. A lot of
Mhm.
wars, a lot of hatred, a lot of
Mhm.
people putting down people, and there's a lot of division, which I hope will come to pass. I mean, it will end. But our mere action, our mere what we're doing could probably impact a soul. And
Mhm.
for me, impacting one soul is already something. It's already I've reached success. For me, success is not about the money, not about the
Mhm.
position, not about the your status. It's
Right.
about how are you able to make that person believe in herself so that he or she will be able to create the life he loves,
Right.
impacting other people. That's for me is success.
Yes. So one of my sayings in Positively Inspired is I want to create a butterfly effect of
Yeah,
positivity.
yeah,
So if I reach out to you and you take that message, then another person, and that will be two, that can do four, and so on and so on. So we can just make a wave of positivity in the world. And being positive doesn't mean
yes.
that you ignore what's negative or what's not pleasant or what is difficult. It just means that you're going to have that outcome, that outlook in the outcome to be good for everyone involved, not just for yourself. It's not being selfish, it's being good to everybody, to the world. And if every person was to turn inwards and and really take accountability of that moment that they are living and how that can affect to the ones around them, can you imagine how much the world um, would change?
Exactly.
Because if we start with ourselves, fixing, or not fixing, but taking care of all those challenges that we encounter sometimes on a daily basis, and then we're able to make them better for ourselves, we'll make them better for the people around us too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what I strive to do. If there is no bigger joy than a person that came to me, and through coaching, they are able to walk away with the life or the plan of their life that they want to live, because they were able to overcome those challenges that were keeping them back, keeping them tied up to their past, or whatever challenge they overcame. Just realizing that you have the power to change your life. It just takes one little step. So every day, every moment of your life, you have a choice,
Mm-hmm.
and you choose what comes next. I tell my boss this all the time. You choose what comes next. If I choose to go right instead of left, there will be an outcome, good or bad, but it's my outcome and I chose it. So if I make a mistake, well, I have the opportunity to fix it and move on and learn from it.
Mm-hmm.
So making mistakes is not bad.
Of
It's
course.
great, actually. It allows us to
Oh,
grow. To learn from that mistake is what allows us to grow. And ultimately, we're here to grow, to evolve our souls to the level that we can teach others and bring them up with us.
see, you're a model to your children. And I'm sure when your children they grow up, oh, they will be doing the same thing to their family, to their children. And I agree
Yeah.
with you that yes, we staying positive uh, gives us so much energy when we
Mm-hmm.
project that positive energy to other people. You know what happens? They mirror it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
that's how you create ripples. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how you, hopefully, with each one of us doing this, peace may prevail here on earth. Love
That
and compassion. That's my
that
prayer.
would be an
That's
awesome
my
goal.
whole goal. Yes, that's what I want to happen here on earth. But okay, that was nice. That was a lot of insights which we have heard from Sai. And take note, it's all about us, not about
Mm-hmm.
expecting from other people, but learn to heal ourselves first. Because you won't be
Mm-hmm.
able to serve others if we don't
Exactly.
know how to love ourselves. It's not
Exactly.
overflowing. We need to overflow with so much love and compassion so
Mm-hmm.
that this may be able to reach other people. And
That's right.
that's it. So, where are you focusing now these days? What are your goals now in terms of within this 12-month period?
Well, I have actually have released or promptly to release coaching that is going to take 6 months and a year. So I'm expanding the coaching I have currently available up to 3 months. And that is a one-on-one coaching, just focusing on you. What do you need me to help you with? And how can together work on mindfulness principles to help you overcome whatever challenges you have in your life. So, for 6 months or a year, I am going to be working with um, a person, and I am expanding this. I also, at the beginning of January, released my positively inspired mindfulness journal, which is a journal for the whole year. So, we're already into February. We have one whole month gone, and, the thing is, think about it this way. Most of us, or many of us, even me in the past, I used to go, oh, it's January. It's going to be January. What do I want to change for this year? And we make all these lists and all our
New Year's
great things that we
resolution.
want to work in, our New Year's resolutions. And how long does that list really last?
Last.
How long does that resolution really, really you stick to it? Like, oh, I don't want to do this, or I'm going to change that. So the journal is thought to you start a day with a quote. It could be
Mhm.
mine, it could be from another famous author, from a TV personality, someone that inspires you first thing in the day with a nice or an intentional quote for that day. And this is also created throughout the seasons. Like, what do we start the new year is like renovation, you get going, get preparations for the rest of the year. So if we start each day, we read this quote and we take into consideration what we're going to do through the day. We start with observations and going through the day. How do you have this quote align with your day-to-day life, right? So if we start, for example, let me just tell you which one is for February 2nd. So today, February 2nd, we have a quote. Sorry. So the quote for today is, "A loving heart is the truest wisdom." And then you take this quote with you today, since we're in the month of love and good, heartwarming things. How does this align with my day today?
Mhm.
Was I loving enough today? Was I giving today? What at the end of the day, I come back and say, okay, so these are my insights. This is how my day went. What could be better for tomorrow? You have this journal to reflect on your day, because sometimes we just live the day and we don't realize all the good tidbits that we learned, we experienced, and we can treasure. So if we're able to come back at the end of the day and make a recount and say, these are my observations, this is how my life aligned to this quote today, and tomorrow is a new day, and you have another quote to inspire you tomorrow as well. So
Yes, I agree with that. The journaling is important because yes, we will journal what transpired throughout the day, and then you being inspired by that quote instead of you complaining of what transpired, especially the challenges.
mhm,
You will
exactly.
say, thank you because I've learned to be stronger right now. I was
Mhm,
able to overcome those challenges
mhm,
positively
mhm,
without any any I mean anger or pain, but took it as a blessing, something like that. That's why
exactly.
I agree that we should have like a guiding code, a code that would guide us, and then give us some self-reflection to really how should I look at it from a different point of view.
That's
Something.
right.
Uh-huh. I agree. Thank you so much. So you'll be releasing your journal. You'll
It's
be releasing
currently
the
it's
coaching.
actually currently available on Amazon for purchase.
Already in
So
Amazon. Okay.
yes, you
Uh-huh.
can find the Positively Inspired Journal available for purchase on Amazon.
Let
And
me again repeat the title. Positivity Inspired Journal.
Mindfulness Journal.
Inspired Mindfulness Journal. Oh,
Yes,
okay, by Sai Gonzalez.
right.
Uh,
Positively Inspired is a movement that is my wish, create that butterfly effect and
um,
reach as many people as possible and help as many people as possible.
and that's the reason why we authors are writing books, because
Mhm,
it's not to be placed in a bookshelf, but to be shared. Your
exactly.
stories are a lot of people are just waiting for our stories so that
Mhm,
they may be able to learn something and give
mhm.
them hope. Because they're all of them, most of them are stuck in their dark bubble. They just need someone whom they could resonate. And
Yes,
hey, she was able to overcome those challenges. Why can't I? Right?
exactly. Just
Uh-huh.
let me be that little shine of sunlight,
Yes,
that sunlight, that little beam of sunlight that
exactly.
can pull you out from that and get your life to be everything that your heart desires.
I agree. And that's my vision as well. Spread that light. Be
That's
that
right.
light for others. So what do you think? Uh, so you'll be releasing your coaching for when are you releasing this?
Um, within uh, within this month, so by February 15th, it will be available on www.getpositivelyiinspired.com. That's my website. I have blogs and a podcast as well for Get Positively Inspired, um, which we release on Mondays and Thursdays. And we have a different topic every week. This week's topic was communication and how we can improve it to, again, improve our life, improve our experiences, improve our interactions for a one on one person. And also for those around us, because ultimately we're human beings, we're not islands. We interact. Even if we work from home, we interact with someone. And if we can make that space a safe communication space, then we're golden. We can live a very happy life on an everyday basis, have that sustainable happiness that can be day after day after day. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to have unicorns and rainbows every day, but
Mm.
if you can find that one thing that you got out good you got joy out of. It's just like a nugget of gold that you can save in that little bag for when that day, where even on the day that you think that everything went wrong, you can always find that silver lining, and that will make your day much, much better.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's awesome. So actually, that's already your advice. I don't need to ask for an advice from you, but you have given us so much advice, and it was really wonderful having you here, Sai. And you
Thank you
have
for the
shared
invitation.
Yes, you have shared with us your website, www.getpositivelyinspired.com. You have
Mhm.
shared your Amazon's journal, which
Mhm.
is Positivity Inspired Mindfulness Journal,
Mindfulness. Mhm.
Mindfulness Journal, and watch out for her new coaching course, which will be released this month.
That's
And
correct.
again, thank you so much, Sai, for being here with us. And I truly appreciate your message being shared to our listeners.
Thank you very much.
What a wonderful story you had.
Thank you for inviting me, and I truly hope that you and your listeners, your followers, they really look within to find their joy.
Yes. Amen. That's our message. That's our objective. Okay. Thank you to our listeners. Till our next episode. Uh, See you next week. Next week, yes, every week we have it here published. Okay, thank you and have a blessed day to all. Bye. Bye, Sai.
Bye.